Alright guys, so we are back again. Back again like we never left. The bees are chilling. It's a nice little spring day and well, this isn't quite Tennessee, but it's just another one of those Minecraft worlds. But we are back in the updated Minecraft world. Some of the settings may be a little weird because I bounce back and forth between my beta 1.7.3. Look at that, the cave's still loading. That's pretty cool. And this version. And eventually I may even play on my my other YouTube buddies. He has a Bedrock server, so I might even hop on that every once in a while. If you guys be interested in check that out, let me know. I'll of course double check with him. He said it's more or less just collabs with other content creators, so that'd be kind of cool. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about today was you gotta stop being an NPC, man. And what I mean by that is you gotta break out of the norm. At least every once in a while. Nothing wrong with being, having a routine, so to speak, but every once in a while, man, that stuff gets old and it starts driving you crazy. You kind of lose a little bit of your humanity, I feel like, because, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And I'm pretty much like, it's not that I'm eavesdropping at all times, but I'm always just kind of listening to people's conversations. I'm a people person, so I like to kind of know what's going on in their life. I always like to kind of just see what makes people tick. That was actually something I didn't really talk about in other careers that I entertained at one point was a psychologist, or even like a psychiatrist, some sort of, studying psychology, studying human nature. I think it's pretty interesting because humans are very particular creatures, and some are creatures of habit, and others are, just they kind of do their own thing. I mean, everybody's either on autopilot at some points in their life, or they're, just kind of their own person, and they're just doing their own thing, hanging out in their own world. And, some are, of a lot of value. And so I've been trying to approach life with like a different mindset of it not being so serious, where you have to min-max everything, right? But also, like, you gotta find that balance. And that's kind of like what this whole channel is about, is finding a happy medium. And I think that a lot of people, and again myself included, even still now, I have to kind of remind myself that you don't have to be maximum efficiency on everything. But I think part of being an NPC is really just doing your day-to-day routine and then not trying to step out of the norm. And then you have all these people, and there's this isn't a roast at the guy, but there is a guy at one of the places I work, and well, let's just say his name's Billy. I'm just gonna say this for the sake of the video. So Billy is he's a nice guy, and he's just a very particular individual, where he basically takes his lap around work near the end of the day, about 30 minutes before everybody clocks out, and you can pretty much time this to the exact time of where he's gonna be at. And I swear this dude is on he's got like a script. There's a program someone wrote for him where he does the same damn thing every day, and it's a little eerie. Nothing again against the guy, he's nice as can be. It's just very like, everyone knows at least someone like that, I believe. But it's very interesting. It's like there's a lot of people like that. It's not just him, but it just kind of made me think, man, there is a lot of people that are truly like that. And I just wonder, a lot of people wonder, well, if they're like NPCs. Do NPCs have emotion? I found out, we were just talking, they do have emotions. Obviously, partially joking here. Like, I obviously know that he has, emotions, and so does any other NPC. But, dude, they get so stuck in this kind of, I don't know if you want to call it like a rut, or like what it really is. But it's just something that, dude is on autopilot 24/7 of his life, and it's the same conversations. And I feel like maybe because it's an office setting, that it's more prone to being like that. Could be. However, I think that it's like, man, that's just a little scary. I don't ever want to end up like that. But I think, you myself included, the people watching, like we all have been in that kind of situation where you notice you start doing the same thing over and over again. You notice your days start to kind of run together. A lot of times, if I'm not paying attention, at least now that I started this job, I kind of can separate the days. But there was a point in time when I didn't know what days were what. I had to like actually refer to a calendar on my phone or an actual calendar because, dude, I didn't know. Like, you didn't know just off of secondhand, just knowing, right? Where you're just like, oh, I could recall just off of knowing that in my subconscious. And that's a little scary, man, because, you know, you get so into where time just pretty much doesn't exist anymore. And sometimes that's a good thing, but in a lot of reasons, it's not really a good thing because it's kind of like, man, you're so ingrained to just kind of just be a worker bee. Kind of like, I mean, pun intended, but, you know, you don't want to just be a worker bee, man. I don't want to just work and then die. Like, that's a big fear, right? Is that I don't want to do, you know, work my whole life and that I want to provide some value, at least to the world. And that may seem like a tall order to fill, but I will say, and since you guys have posted this, I believe that you're fine with it if I shared some of your comments, but I've had some really good comments out the last few videos, especially the ones that kind of went off pretty good, especially like the I can't work a 9 to 5 and I quit my 9 to 5. Those 2 videos that I put up, and again, if you haven't checked them out, feel free to go, you know, explore those 2 videos. But I just wanted to say that it seems like it's really resonated with a lot of people with your day-to-day life. And again, the goal of this channel is to just kind of take you a little bit out of reality and just kind of understand that life does not have to be as crappy as it seems to be sometimes. I'm a pretty positive person, but I've had a bunch of stuff happen to me too. And I can relate to you guys. Like, a lot of you shared some stories, and some of you either were or kind of in a bad spot, and I do feel for you. And I don't want to sound like a Hallmark card and tell you that, oh, it's going to be okay, just give it time. Well, that's what I thought too. It does take time, man. You know, I've had situations like, so I'll give a brief example. And it was one of the commenters that I responded. I mean, I responded to everybody, or at least I tried to. But one of the things I said was, the year 2023 was, I think, arguably the worst year of my life. My wife and I we just couldn't catch a break. It was just a really bad year. In the beginning of the year, I went into it with a broke hand because that was my Christmas present for the year 2022. Broke my hand a few days before Christmas, literally 2 days. And I went into 2023, you know, and I try to just be as positive as you can. But knowing I had major wrist surgery, I'm not going to go into details for people who are squeamish. But anyway, you know, I went into the year 2023. That was how I started it. And I wasn't able to work, and they gave me very small checks, which I'm glad that I got any checks, but for workers' compensation, you get some small checks. It was only like $200 per week to survive off of, and some people would be psyched to have $800 in a month, but it's a little hard to do when your rent alone's $2,000. So you do the math, it doesn't really add up. That's not including groceries or anything else. But anyway, so my wife and I struggled quite a bit because it's hard to just make it off one income, at least in America, and that's pretty much any part around the world. If you already know, I mean, you know. It's a lot of ocean, my goodness. But it was just really hard. So then when I get back to work, I finally get back, I want to say February the 14th. So I was out for right around, technically, actually, I apologize. It wasn't in February. It was at the end of January. I had my surgery on January the 14th. January 28th, I returned. And then they fired me shortly after. Yes, you heard that right. They fired me from a job that I got hurt on. There's a lot to unpack with that, but I'm not going to, do it in this video. But just for the sake of simplicity, we'll keep moving forward. So that happened. Had to find another job. I just needed to find something that just worked. So, I found something that just kind of worked. And I knew it wasn't going to be a forever job. But again, it just kind of paid the bills. So I did that for about 6 to 8 months until I got to where I'm currently at now. And this is something that my degree actually came in handy with. So I was in computers and stuff of that nature. And that's just kind of what I'm at right now. The job it pays decent, and it's not a hard job, at least right now. But before the year of 2023 ended, I also got another Christmas present that year. My car got broken into. I have a Dodge Challenger. They're just high theft vehicles. It is what it is. doesn't mean it's okay to obviously try to steal someone's car. Luckily, they didn't take anything, but it does, it is true. It makes you feel a type of way. It makes you feel less safe, right? You're like, well, we were in a nice neighborhood too. That's what was really concerning about it. Was like, okay, well, you're paying this expensive rent for a nice neighborhood, only to get your really nice car broken into. So after that happened, the year 2024, it started to get better. My wife and I really buckled down, and we worked on paying stuff off, and we ended up busting our ass enough to get into a really nice house. So it just goes to show, and also just to conclude with, the year 23 was the worst of my life, and then the year 24 was the year that I actually felt like I was really living. We went on some concerts and just had an overall great time. And it wasn't just a kind of like, oh, okay, we're rebelling against a really bad year prior, but it was just to reward ourselves for all the hard work that we put in. And it also just goes to show that, dude, you can have a hell of a bad year, and your next best year can literally be that year right after. So it's a momentum thing, I think, a little bit. And it's definitely mental over physical a lot of the times. I mean, you're going to have some really bad years. It's just kind of how life goes. And it does suck. I hate that even happens, but as bad as, here's the thing too. It's like you won't be able to really appreciate good things in life unless you have some bad struggles, because it also gives you a lot of strength, and then you can appreciate the better times. I'm actually insane how lost I am right now. As we're swimming and trying to find out now where my house is. It does get better. And I just I guess the whole point of this channel too is just to really slow down and appreciate the little things. So the stepson was over this week, and we had an absolute blast. One of the last days he was here, we just we watched a queso. He was playing Outlast. I think it was Outlast. He was doing a whole walk through that on YouTube, and it was actually fun. It was 3.5 hours or something like that. But it was the most fun I actually think I've had actually hanging out with him in a good little while. We always enjoy watching YouTube videos with him. That's one of his favorite things to do, is especially watch queso and stuff, which I actually enjoy him. I think he's funny. But if you guys got kids or stepkids, or they're all the same, man. They're your kids too. Drop it in the comment section below, some of the stuff you like doing with them, because we definitely have a blast. It's definitely a good time. Man, I really always love their music. So throw on some modern Minecraft music. Some of it's really, really good. Yo, we found snow. Okay. I think yeah. Oh god, it's deep snow. Oh crap. I might be in trouble here. Alright guys, we're going to continue to explore to find our house. I will see you guys hopefully when we get there. Guys, the sun's going down again out there. I'm going to find my home. Wait a minute. Oh wait, I am home. Oh, anyway. I just played with you guys. So I actually did, shortly after I stopped the recording, I just kept going and I did find it. I was over there in those mountains. Way down there, I think. Somewhere a little. I just didn't walk far enough this direction. If I would have just kept going about another 5 minutes, not even, I would have definitely found the home. But I just wanted to conclude with, don't be an NPC. It's not worth it. Have some individuality. Chase your dreams. Do stuff that really lights you up and makes you happy. You'll regret it if you don't, I promise. I can assure you that whatever you're scared to do, I promise you the bigger fear would be regret. Because regret is an unpayable bill that you have at the end of your life. And at least that way, if you tried and you failed, who really cares at the end of the day? I think it's worth taking risk and setting yourself apart from others. And not just for the sake of it, obviously don't do that, but don't be an NPC and have fun. Life's about exploration, like Minecraft. But let me know down in the comment section below some of your favorite hobbies. I kind of asked this question a little bit before, more like in the sports regard, but stuff you like doing when you're spending time with either family, like if you got kids, some of the stuff you like doing with them. I just always like to hear stuff like that. I try to keep this channel as personal and very close-knit as we can, because I do want to consider you guys like part of the family. And we're just here to kind of vibe and, you know, hang out with each other and have a good time. But anyways, you guys, of course, have an awesome day. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.